Hello again, Year Nines. So today we're having another look at scale factor, but we're going to look at it from a slightly different angle. Um, and what I've done is I've made a worksheet which quickly reviews the concept you did yesterday. So you should probably actually pause and finish that off before we go further. It's apologies for the appearance of the worksheet. It's not very pretty, but the maths in it is good. So just maybe finish that up before we continue on. But what we're looking at today is in the questions you had beforehand, you had both shapes. You had the original and the image, and you learnt to work out the scale factor if you had both of those things. But what if you had one of the shapes and you were told the scale factor and you had to figure out what the other shape looks like? That's what you're learning today. So imagine you're giving this rectangle A here. One side's 10 centimeters, one side is 4. And you are asked to dilate it by a scale factor of 2. So the first question I'd ask you is that an enlargement or is it a reduction? And the answer you should be thinking of is that a scale factor of 2, anything larger than 1 for a scale factor is an enlargement. A scale factor of 1 and the shape will stay exactly the same. Scale factor of less than 1, the shape will get smaller. Scale factor of more than 1 and the shape will get bigger. So this shape is going to get bigger in our enlargement. And what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these sides and we're going to multiply them by our scale factor. So our 10 centimeter side, we're going to multiply that by 2. That's going to become 20 centimeters in our image. And our 4 centimeter side here, we're going to multiply that by 2, and that's going to become 8 centimeters. And that gives us this. This is our image, our dilated shape, 20 centimeters and 8 centimeters. All right, so what if you were asked to dilate a shape by a scale factor of 1/4? Now, is that going to be an enlargement or a reduction? Well, it's less than 1, so it's going to be a reduction. So our shape is going to get smaller in the image. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to take our sides and our 10 centimeter side here, we're going to multiply that by 1/4, which will give us 2.5 centimeters. And we're going to take our 4 centimeter side and we're going to multiply that by 1/4 to give us 1 centimeters. Now, you can actually do these in your head, but mostly you won't be able to. Mostly this is a calculator job. Now, you could either type in the fraction into your calculator if you know how to do that, or where you see the fraction sign, just hit the divide button. So this would be 4 times 1 divide by 4 will give us 1. And this would be 10 times 1 divided by 4, which would give us 2.5. And we could use that to draw our shape with our new sides of 2.5 and 1 centimeters. And this is our image, which I've forgotten to label. That should say A prime. All right, so using these new skills, have a look at question 3 on page 230, which I don't think you got up to yesterday. That's the question where you draw shapes on graph paper. And then once you've done that, just continue working through chapter 5E of the textbook. Get as much of that done today as you can. And at the end of this, you should have 2 skills. You should be able to calculate the scale factor when you're given 2 shapes. And the second skill you should have is that at the end of today's lesson, is you should be able to draw the second shape if you're given the first shape or the original and the scale factor. So have fun with that.